Hello, hello. Good evening. Let's kick it over to the camera. Hey, bud. How's it going? I don't like this. Hold on. There we go. So, I ended up not getting any more work done on this model since Wednesday. I just got busy with other things. No, you good? You good? How's it going? I end up not messing with this model anymore over the weekend. I'm actually going to zoom this out a little bit. It's a little bit too zoomed in. Yeah, fun of being an adult. You never actually get to do the things you want when you want it all the time. Yeah, got some responsibilities you have to work on. But I did manage to get another squad of Terminators for my Dark Angels built. So at least I did do something hobby-wise. It just wasn't this model because I wanted to paint them on stream. I managed to dig out the paint. I had it in storage. The paint that I used to paint this with. It's Walmart quality. So it's not the best, but it was what I started painting models with back in... When did I start? 2019. So I got this paint in 2019, 2020. I'll have to look. I don't know exactly when. I bought it off Amazon. So any parts that I need to be green, I need to paint it with this. Just got a new gas mask. What do you need the gas mask for? Well, it's the same bottle. It's the same bottle of paint. I didn't have to buy another bottle. But it's kind of garbage quality. I mean, it's getting the job done, obviously. This isn't the first model I painted with it, and it unfortunately won't be the last because I already have some models that I already started with this paint. Nothing malicious? Okay, I I'll believe you. No, I thought you did like I know with like airbrushing, if you were like getting into like airbrushing stuff, a lot of people use masks just to help like a respirator, help keep their just keep, breathing properly. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. So you actually collect like army or military like gas. That's cool. U.S. Soviet. Wait, I'm gonna Google that one real quick. G-5. Oh, I've seen that one. The Soviet one. Actually, I recognize it. Yeah, I recognize it. Ironically, though, the first thing that comes to mind is there's a mission in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 where you're playing as the children. It's the mission where you play as the children. You later they're adults in stuff, but you play as the children, and a guy comes and ends up killing your father in the mission, and the guy has that mask on. And I think that is a skin for a character in when you play multiplayer. Now the other one, I'm gonna look it up too, just so I can see it. The Finnish M61. Oh, that one looks sweet. That one's very unique, but it looks really cool. Yeah, let's get some of this green. I'm gonna take the missile rack off. Oops, didn't mean to throw it across the room, but you got it for 25 bucks. Oh, that's... I was worried they were going to be more expensive than that. I don't go on Facebook Marketplace often enough. They usually are. Ah, okay. I know my brother, he bought a bass guitar at a pawn shop for a steal because they didn't... I don't know if they didn't know what they had or if they just didn't figure it was worth anything. But he got a bass. It's a 5-string bass. And the original creator of the bass, or the company that the bass was made from, no longer exists. They got bought out by Gibson. And when my brother... It was called a Kramer. So Kramer. Kramer. And when he Googled it and saw that it was like, oh, these are no longer in production, he was like, looked at the price and was like, I want it. So he bought it. He wanted a bass anyways. He was actually just going around just to see what was available, and he saw that, so he took it. Or didn't take it, he bought it. He no longer has it, but we do know who has it, though. And that person probably would be willing to sell it back if we reached out to them. It's a pretty sick bass, too. Yeah. It was blue and it was a 5-string. So it looked really good. Why is the music so loud? At least it's loud in my ears. So, something interesting happened over the weekend, though. I had to work Friday, and I was like, okay, well, darn. But the models I got finished over the last week, those 5 Dark Angel Intercessors, and then the 5 Terminators, the Deathwing Terminators. I took them to work because there's someone at my work who's very interested in looking at my models and just seeing my talent, just, you know, how good I paint. I feel like I'm an average painter, so a lot of people they're like, "Oh my gosh, you do a really really good job." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So if they want to see my models, I'm like, "Okay, I don't mind. I'll take them to work with me and I'll show them. I can just put them in my locker and no one will mess with them." And someone else, one of the other people, saw my work and said that her son has a birthday coming up in July and was wondering if I did commission work to and if I could paint some models for her son's birthday as a present for him. So I may actually be doing a commission work job in the very near future. Yeah, I told her um that she needs to let me know how much money she's wanting to put into a present like that. So that way, because I don't want to tell her no, but I do want to make sure that, I get compensated fairly, but she also gets something that she wants for her son. But commission painting for this stuff can get quite pricey pretty fast. Heck, the one of my models that I've painted, I want to sell it, and from what I can gather, or at least from my own estimations, I should be able to sell it for $200. Yeah, because you're looking at the price of the model, which is already not that cheap, plus usually it's an hourly rate. Sometimes you can do a flat rate if you are pretty confident that you can get it done within a time limit. But typically people go $15 to $20 an hour. But because I know she's not making the most money in the world, I'm not going to charge her freaking $20 an hour for me to paint a squad of models. But I do want to make sure that I get, paint something quality, something that, make her feel like she did get her money's worth out of it. So I told her come up with a budget. What is she willing to pay for something like that? And from there, I'll discuss with her about her options. It'll most likely just be standard foot troops, maybe one character. If she's wanting to do multiple models, I'll suggest a squad of models plus a character that could be their leader or whatever. This paint is so thin. That's another problem with this. It's both thick and thin at the same time, which is really annoying. Yeah, I told her, I was like, I don't know if her son even knows what Warhammer is. If he does, great. That actually will make my job a little bit easier. Because then we could just talk to him about, try to get some general information about what is his favorite army or what is his favorite faction or something like that, and I can base it off that. But if he has no clue what it is, then what we could do is we can base it off his favorite color or his favorite football team or something like that. We can get a pretty good idea of what someone likes based off just a little bit of generic information without leading on to something. And plus, because I have bought the... If he does choose... I'm pretty sure we're just going to do Space Marines. If he doesn't know what Warhammer is, I'll just do Space Marines. They're the pretty good, like, beginner faction. Because GW loves Space Marines. So they always get treated right. And so if I do go with a regular Space Marine faction, I can just use the transfer sheet from one of my... I use like the transfer sheets that I already own. Yeah. But this week is the crunch week because I have secured a defiler. No matter what happens on Saturday, I will have a defiler in my hands. I went to my local shop and was like, I'm just curious. Is there any defilers available to be put on hold for me from the pre-order? And he checked. He said, yep. I was like, cool. Secure me one. I want it. I thought they were going to be long gone. So if I can get this Helbrute done before Saturday, that'd be awesome. Which I don't think I'm going to have a problem with. Most of it's already painted. I just need to do a little bit of... Defiler is the really big one that's about to come out this weekend. I'll see if I can put it on screen real quick. Warhammer. Where is it? Why is that a Instagram? I don't like Google searching sometimes because sometimes I'll pull up a picture. I'm like, oh, that looks really cool, and then it's Instagram or Facebook, and it won't actually like. Why are some of these videos not showing up on YouTube when I'm looking for them on my own time? Decament. All right, there's a good photo. See if I can. Let's see, how do I... Capture source. Your web-based content. Add source. Add a new source. And just ignore that for 1 second. We pull up the URL. Copy. Paste. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait. Did that work? What the heck is going on with it? How do I operate it from here, though? I don't know how to get it to... Yeah, it's not right. Something's not right with it. Hold on, I got another idea. Alright, close. We'll delete that. Remove. Are you sure you want to remove that? Yes, I do. I'll just go... display capture? Yeah, let's go display capture, add source. There we go. This thing right here. I wish I could just click on that one photo. Can I just zoom in? That thing right there. That's the defiler. It is on a 160 millimeter base. So, mind you, the model I'm currently painting is on a 60 mil. This is a 160 millimeter base. There's a couple of other... So it's got different head options depending on what you want to do. Yeah, this thing is going to be scary. It's got multiple different build options too. So... I'm going to have a lot of fun painting it, but I'm going to have to figure out how to... I'm definitely not going to make it just one giant model and try to paint it without, you know, as one big thing. I'm going to have it in multiple parts. Just to make my life a little bit easier. Display capture, and then let's hide it. Let's go back to this. Yeah, that is coming out Saturday. And I'm really excited for it because I've been wanting a defiler for a while, but I've hated the old model. The old model was literally a giant square with the crab legs. It just didn't look good. But with this model, now it actually looks like something's going on. Yeah, go look at the older model. It's definitely something. Heck, the older model, I don't even think it comes with a base. I think it was just the model itself. And for the longest time, they didn't put it on a base. They were just like, no, you play it as it is. Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. The older model is like 25 years old, I think, or something. It's really old. Yeah, I've always wanted one because the rules wise it was not bad. It was just the model was so ugly. I was just like, nah, I can't. You should look up the mutilators, the old mutilators versus the new mutilators, and take a look at that change. Actually, let's see if I can pull them up real quick. Or are they not going to show up anything? Are you kidding me? Why are they not showing up? I see some of the newer ones, but why is there only 15? Did I spell it wrong? Maybe I spelled it wrong. Yeah, I did. That's why. Yeah, they... I think those old ones are actually made of metal. I don't think... Or they're either metal or they're what we used to be called fine cast. They were horrible. The new ones... I don't know, I think they're alright. No, you're fine. I understood what you meant, though. Yeah, they're really stepping up their game with, like, hey, our old models look garbage. Let's make something that looks better. Especially on the Chaos end. The Chaos end, the older sculpts of stuff just looked cartoonish. The hair somewhere on this model. Oh, there it is. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I love my Alpha Legion. Yep, I've had this model for quite a while. I've decided to finally try to finish it up. I'm trying to get them finished before this weekend because the new Defiler kit. Custodes. They're such sick looking models too. Yeah, Chaos Space Marines. I really like Chaos Space Marines. You just have to be warned. There's a lot of trim, and it does take a bit to paint through it all. You could do the trim first and then paint the block in the colors inside the panels. But either way, it's just something you have to just get used to doing. Yeah, I've been in the hobby since 2019, so right before the old pandemic hit. So I got to spend a lot of my free time messing with models. Alright, I need to get these feet finished. I keep getting distracted, but I need to get these feet finished so then I can put the leg plates, like, on it. Yeah, I'm liking the attention that Chaos Space Marines have been getting recently with the new Red Corsairs models, and then now the new Iron Warrior models that are coming out. I just wish Alpha Legion would now get some of that attention, but that's just me. So for the Custodes, you're just doing the traditional gold with the red, or do you have your own paint scheme you're going with? With silver and purple. Ooh, I like the sound of that. That sounds very nice. Do you have an idea what you want to do for Chaos Space Marines if you do get into them? Sounds like you're interested in Alpha Legion. Silver, yeah, silver and purple sounds. I like the sound of that personally. I think gold on them, while gold is 4,000 suns. Yeah. You have played AOS? Okay, cool. That's so you do have some tabletop game knowledge on this. I've not dabbled with Thousand Suns. Actually, ironically, them and the Emperor's Children are the only two Chaos factions I don't own. I've gone a little overboard with my collecting, and now I'm paying the price for it. Yes, that is Age of Sigmar. Yeah, we just say AOS just because it speeds it up. Same with saying 40k instead of 40,000. Hey, you're welcome. That's why you'll also see, like, if someone's referring to the Horus Heresy game, they'll often refer to it as 30k. Because that's just what people knew it as when it was the original, like, unofficial game mode before GW said, hey, this is making us money, let's profit off it even more. There's actually a short story I saw. Someone on YouTube. Yeah, 30k. Yeah, sometimes it's like, hey, no matter what the company calls it, we're gonna call it this, and they can't change our minds. And heck, even GW has even said 40k, 40k, even in their with the new oh gosh, whenever they have a new edition come out, they'll have a hashtag that you can tag on stuff, and it says hashtag new 40k. But it's just like it's just simpler, easier, less characters you have to type out. I think I may be finished with this metallic green for now. Maybe. Plasma. Great for you page. I can't really see it from here. What happens if I click? Nothing. All right. Yeah, I can't see it from my end. Actually, crap. I do. Shoot. I knew I was forgetting something. The missile rack. Alright, so let me pull up the Helbrute. I do want to see how people have painted. That's not the greatest view, but at least it gives me something. Okay, that'll work. Yep, I need to get myself back into camera shot a little bit. Maybe it might be better if I actually attach it back to the model. This is what magnets are for. So I can just attach it on real quick. Is the screen too dark? I feel like this need to... Nope. Hold on. Ah, that's what was wrong with it. I accidentally had my... I think that's my ISO. Had something a little too... dialed in a little too low. And then had my streaming... or my lamp also too low. Alright, I'm going to let that dry for now. That whole... actually, that whole thing might come off. Come on. Come on. There we go. I haven't glued that on yet. That whole thing can come off. And also you can see the magnet in the back. Alright, now to work on the shin guards. This thing has a lot. Let me clean off my brush real quick so it doesn't get all gummed up. So for this arm here, I can try to get it attached back. It has the missile launcher. It has the fist. Gotta leave right now. Hope I can catch you later, but not sure. Hey, that's fine, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for visiting. I hope you can come back. I really appreciate it. But if not, that is totally fine, man. I understand. I hope you have a good rest of your day as well. And hopefully I can catch you in the next one if you can't make it. If you can't make it back today. Yeah, it has the missile launcher. It has the fist. And then it has what's called a power scourge, which I am not going to bother painting on this guy for now. Hey, is it Neo? Yep, I am painting up an Alpha Legion Helbrute. And then this arm does have another option. It's a giant hammer. But parts from this flail are needed also for the hammer. So I just decided on the flail. So this arm has 3 options. This arm has a plethora of options. It's Neo? Okay. Yes, I am a huge Alpha Legion enjoyer. I love the paint scheme, like the whole like turquoisey green blue color. I love their lore. Oh, I'm a giant Chaos fan. The only Chaos armies I don't own for 40k is Emperor's Children and Thousand Sons. I own every other army. For the... I also have this arm where I could take it off because there's another fist. You could put another fist on this arm, but I don't have it magnetized. Then this arm, it has... This is a heavy bolter, or twin-linked heavy bolter. You also have a multi-melta. Yep. Let me move that before I break it. I would be very sad if I do. It has a... Is it magnetized? No, it's not magnetized. A twin-linked autocannon. Yes. Yeah, I picked Alpha Legion as my Chaos Space Marine paint scheme. I have World Eaters. I have Death Guard. I started actually with Corn Demons. And then I have Chaos Knights yeah, as well. I have a lot of Chaos. Not a lot of Chaos Knights, but I have a decent amount. None of them are painted. And then, what's this here? This thing actually has more weapons than I can actually currently find. I have them all built, I just don't know where all of my parts are. So what I have done is I've I'm just going to have to take it off his body. I have it magnetized, so I can take, with a little bit of finagling, can take this off. And then I can just clip the next weapon on. Oh, that one's magnet. It's not there, but yeah, basically I clip the next weapon on, take it off, attach the next weapon. This one needs a hole drilled into it, so I can make it fit. That's all right. And then for this piece, take that off, put this back on. I do need to clean up some of the stuff. That's all right. And then the twin link las cannon can also fit on it. Yeah, it's a lot of DACA. There's so many weapon options. For just to get the model like painted and done, so I can feel happy about it, I am just sticking with parts that I'm already either finished with or mostly finished with. So it's going to be the heavy bolter, and then yeah, the tentacle arm looks so cool. I gotta yeah, so I can get the head, because I wanted to paint the head separate a while back. I just left the side pieces separate, and so I can get the head in there. And then by the time I actually got around to getting the head in there, I actually lost the piece in the back that's supposed to help hold the head in place, so I had to make one. There's just a random piece of sprue on the inside of the inside of that. Yeah, I love the tentacles. The Electro Scourge is one of my favorite weapons. It might not be all that good all the time, but it's just so chaos. Like, yes. Fun fact about that Chaos Knight kit. You can magnetize the Abominant, so the tentacle armed one with the tail. You can magnetize the one with the laser weapon, and you can magnetize the melee weapon version. You can magnetize all of them to be where you can retrofit them in and out however you want. When it comes to the Ruinator, you cannot do that. It borrows the arm piece from the laser destroyer, and it borrows the arm piece from the what is it called? Dadgummit. The giant, it's not a plasma weapon. I know it's not a plasma. The Volkite weapon. I found this out not the hard way, but I was like looking into it about how I could possibly magnetize it, and found out that it was missing parts. Or not missing parts, but GW intentionally left those parts out. So if you wanted to make a fully magnetized, where you get all of those, where you can use all the options, you actually have to buy a second Chaos Knight and build it as the melee option only. Which is fine, because the melee option one is pretty cool in my opinion, but if you were like, oh, I don't want the melee one, well, then you can't magnetize all your options. Which is lame. I will be... I don't want to promise this, but I'll say it. I want to make a magnetizing video for that kit. I have the kit, and I have this new camera, so I really would like to do it, but Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm not even finished magnetizing all of it. I just need to finish it. You subscribed? Thank you, Neo. I appreciate that. If you do get into Chaos Knights, you glued your distraction grot to your thumb twice yesterday. I've done similar stuff. The colors, they work. If you know about like the Imperial Knights, they work in a similar fashion, where it's like they have their house. But you also could just as easily just paint them however you want. You can make one purple, one blue, and one pink, and just say they're they don't have a house. They're just their own person, and they're just banding together for this fight. They definitely made the Knight's lore very open-ended if you want. As open-ended as you would like it to be, basically. If you want yours to be very open-ended on your models, you can. My favorite lore-wise is the House Korvax. Or do him as a... Yeah, that's correct. Do him as a deity legion. I know that there's some of them that are already kind of deity legion ones. There's actually 2 corn ones, which makes it kind of annoying when you look at it. There's 2 corn ones already. And they're the obvious red paint schemes. I don't think there's any other ones that I can think of. One of my favorite paint schemes, though, is House Herpetrax? I'll have to look it up real quick. Yes, it's House Herpetrax. They're very, like, OD green with a cream color as some parts, and then black as other parts, and then their trim is, like, a brassy gold-esque color. Like, it's not pure gold, it's a bit orange, it's a little bit orangier than that. But it looks like a paint scheme that you can very easily just make as dirty as you want. If you want to make it super dirty and super chipped up and everything, they would be really cool to paint. Iron Warrior scheme or word, yeah, you can do that as well. That's I've seen people do that before as well. Do them as their own, do them as the legion that they're like following. I think Horus had his own Titan. Like, yeah, the yellow and black would go hard. Yes, for sure. My advice for doing stuff like that would be to get, do I have it even right here? No, I do not. Dadgummit. Getting like tape. Actually, do I? I thought I had a little roll of tape here to show. Dang it, I can't find it. Yeah, it's like a masking tape, but it's designed for doing models. God, it's on. I found it some on Amazon, and I do own some, but I just can't find the roll that I thought I had right here on my desk. Oh, anyways, yeah, you can get, there's a like modeling painter's tape that is safe for, like, it won't peel the paint up, basically. Because if you just get regular painter's tape from like the hardware store, it might still be a little bit too strong, and you could risk pulling it up. Or you could just freehand it, but that would take a lot of work. So I don't know if anyone has with Dreadblades or just Chaos Knights without any house. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. You can make it where they don't have a house that they follow with; they just do their own thing. Yep, welcome. It's a lot of fun. The knights, they're in reality they're not that much different than painting a regular model. They're just upscaled. They're just really, really big. You can make them as detailed as you want or as little detailed as you want. If you want to just say, I don't want to bother with the metal chassis underneath, I'll just paint it silver, give it a good wash, and be done with it, you can literally do that. Or paint it black. Some of the under chassis for some of these models are literally black and then dry brushed with another color just to give them a little bit more like definition. And then you paint the armor panels your armor color. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just a lot bigger model. Speaking of orcs, did you see the new model that got revealed today? I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. Yep. What do you think of it? Because I'm not much into orcs. I think they look cool and everything, but I'm not into them. They're just not my thing. I figured orc players would really, really like it. Alright, I think the green on that is done. Yeah, it looks a lot better than the old one, that's for sure. The old one was a very, like, shaman feel to it. Had a very weird, like, feeling to it. This one definitely does feel a lot better, and I'm wondering if they'll make it, like a lot of models in the launch box, they'll end up making a multi-part kit. That way you have a slightly different, like, design. I wonder if they'll be doing that with this model, or if it'll just be that model in a group box with a couple of other models. Yeah, when I saw him in the little teaser trailer for the new edition, I was like, oh, he's gonna look pretty cool. I do think he does look good. It's just orcs aren't my thing. My brother plays orcs. I was hoping he'd be in the chat tonight so I can ask him about it as well. But I haven't seen him. Got to check my music. I want to make sure I don't accidentally... Yeah, we'll play that one next. Alright, I have to be very peculiar with my music because I don't want copyright problems. I'm glad they finally showed the Weird Boy though, because the first couple of models they showed off they were alright, but it was like definitely like not hyping me up for the new edition. The rules were hyping me up more than the models. It was like, oh, here's the new model. It's an orc boy. Oh, and here's another new model. It's an intercessor, and I'm sitting here going, okay. But now, and then they showed off the next orc, and it was the boss knob for the orc boys. I mean, while that model did look cool, I'm sitting here going, you've got more in the pipe. Come on, show us a little something, you know. And then they showed off the Vanguard vet, and I thought he was all right. I'm glad that we're getting a Primaris Vanguard vet squad, but ultimately wasn't all that exciting. And then, so this week, I'm glad we finally got something cool to look at, basically. But in their article, though, it did get me worried, though. They were talking about how there's going to be a change in how melee is done. And I'm wondering if it's what that means. Because as a World Eaters enjoyer, I like my melee. I like it because it's got a decently high skill ceiling. So if you don't know how to play melee, and someone really knows how to play melee, you can end up in a lot of trouble. Because the person who's done melee before is going to mess you up. That's just how it is. And a lot of people don't know how to get melee right. They don't know how to do the sequencing, they don't know how to do any of that. So if you do know how to do that, you could use it to your advantage. Oh god. Alright, more paint. Yeah, I'm wanting to get my Alpha Legion going because they were my second army. And I played with them a good bit throughout 8th edition, the back end of 8th, because I got in 2019, right before the pandemic hit. So my friend got me into it and played Corn Demons first. Realized really quickly that all my friends' armies were very shooty, and mine was the only melee. And I didn't know how to do any of the movement tricks or anything like that. So I was like, crap, I need another army. And right around that time is when Shadow Spear was about to come out. Or maybe it already came out, my friend and I... No, it hasn't come out yet. Or did it? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't remember. It was the back end of 2019. And so he was playing Space Marines. I picked Chaos. I just knew I needed some guns, basically. And Corn Demons are known for their lack in ranged weaponry. Started looking through the book. And in that book, they had the Alpha Legion, and it was a green metallic color with a silver trim, and read about it, and read about them, looked them up and everything, and saw that they just really liked their lore, liked their color scheme, and I was like, screw it, I'm doing Alpha Legion. I had already owned Karn the Betrayer because I don't remember when I first bought models, that fateful day. Thank you. Yeah, this paint unfortunately is not good. It looks cool, but it's not good. It is not a miniature model paint. It's freaking deco art from, you know, your regular hobby store. Mine, at least my warband of Alpha Legion, is definitely traders. Mine uses the Possessed, mine uses Helbrutes, obviously, mine uses, I have a Dark Apostle. I love the idea of cultists and everything. It does help, yeah. The problem is with metallic paints, the metallic flakes are huge. Yeah, yeah, my problem is just the metal flakes are just a little bit too big, but it gets the job done. Any new Alpha Legion models I get, I don't paint them this way. I have a different paint scheme. Heck, I'll bring one out. Let me just clean my brush out real quick, because this paint also really gums up brushes. So I just really want to rinse it out. Some of the paint on here that I'm painting over actually was like standard Walmart or craft store paints, and I just don't like the look of them, and they're also kind of wiping up. Like if I rub my finger against it, it'll come up. So I'm replacing it with more solid, like actual miniature paints that don't seem to come up that often or as much. But yeah, let me go get another model and show you what my new Alpha Legion paint scheme is. Going to let me zoom this in for y'all. I'm gonna zoom it in real nice, and then bring it up. Yeah, this is my new Alpha Legion paint scheme. Yeah, and what it is I first go over the entire model with let's zoom it back out a little bit. I've since doing the beginning of my paint much colors, I've gotten myself an airbrush and got used to using it. And so what I do is I first prime it black, obviously, just because black seems to be the best go-to color when priming, at least in my opinion. Or at least when priming generic models. If you're priming white or doing white or light colored ones, obviously you want to go with higher ones. After that, I start spraying it with a metallic color. If it was just to do one step, it would be the Iron Breaker from GW. Then I go over it with the airbrush with, where is it? There it is. It's the Pterodon Turquoise contrast paint. I use it through the airbrush, but it can be done with a regular brush. It just won't be as satin looking. Actually, do I have a model? I think I have a model somewhere where I just brushed it on. Give me one moment, I'll find that to show you what the difference is. There it is. It's a lot. It's a bit brighter, to be honest, as well. And it's shinier. I wish I would have went over this guy with the airbrushed version and just come back with the other paints, but that's all right. I've already started it, and I'm not gonna change my mind now. But yeah, it's a lot shinier when going over it with just a brush. But if you don't want to get into airbrushing, this is an option. I did notice in my, because I actually do have a video on how I did this model, or on the squad of models, I should say. Yeah, and that's another thing I like about it's Alpha Legion, and so who's to say what is their armor color, you know? So that's why I'm okay with having some of my models in the green metallic, and some of my models with the satin, and some of my models with the gloss. I'm actually going to do a non-metallic version. I've already kind of tested it out on a model, but I haven't done a full model of it yet. And because we're talking about my Alpha Legion, I want to show them off. One of my first finished models. This is one of my first. Yeah, the fire. Unfortunately, the tutorial that I learned this from no longer exists on YouTube. And that's because GW does not like their employees putting their own videos on YouTube. And it sucks. It is from the... Was it Richard? It wasn't Richard Gray. Or was it? I can't remember who it was now, which sucks because his whole channel's gone. I can't find it. Because I think his name on YouTube was not Richard Gray. But heck, I might do a fire tutorial on my YouTube just so I can bring it back. It's honestly not that hard. Like I said, this was one of my first character models I ever painted and went like beyond just regular paint plus a shade. I actually went into like highlights and stuff. So that just shows you how early it was in my journey. He is back? I'll have to see if his videos have reappeared. Or you know of him. Okay. Demon Rich. Hold on just a second. I'm going to pull up another tab for YouTube. And I'm going to look that up. Did it not go through? Heckgummit. That is him. I wonder if his video is back up though. Oh, or no. No, it was Darren Latham. That's it. Who it was? It was not Darren Latham. Laham. Oh, that's because I pulled it up on my other tab. I'm sorry. I'm looking it up. I have subscribed to this guy and I follow him. I'm actually going to follow his he's got a painting tutorial where he painted the Leviathan Dreadnought in Iron Warrior, or not Iron Warrior, dadgummit, Imperial Fist. Completely wrong wrong guy, my bad. He painted Imperial Fist Leviathan Dreadnought, and I'm going to basically not full-on copy that design, but I will use it as my inspiration when doing, because I have a couple of I have the named Iron Warrior characters that I want to paint. So to paint them, I want to follow how he did that Dreadnought because it looks really, really good. All right, so do I want to glue these on now and then Yeah, might as well. Actually, I do want to take some Agrex or Shade. At least shade this piece of bone, because shading it later might be a pain in the butt. Now to get my plastic glue out, wherever the heck I put it. That is one problem I have with my setup, is I lose my stuff kinda often. Oh, it's right in front of me. Right where I left it. Little tip for those starting out with painting or with building models. The plastic glue, a lot of people already are aware, plastic glue will clog the tip of the little spout. What you do, this is a bread tie. I have stripped off the plastic to where it's just a little piece of metal. Make sure it's nice and straight. Poke it into the little hole at the top. Ram it through. And now it's no longer clogged. So what I'm going to do carefully. Actually, I do want to get my hobby knife. I'm going to clean the contact point. I think it's only one contact point, right? I just want to make sure that's nice and bare plastic. That way it's not trying to glue to the it's not trying to glue to the paint. It'll glue to the You found it? Nice. Yeah, he had it on like a... Let's see. Images. Does he have a picture of the image? Someone has a photo of their attempt after following the tutorial. Yeah, can I see the picture? Yeah, okay. There is at least a picture of it. But I don't know if there's a video anymore. Like I said, what it was, he was a former painter for them. And then, I guess got rehired or recontracted out for them. He sculpts their models for them now. A lot of the newer models are from him, or at least sculpted by him. So he's not like completely being screwed over by them, but he, under contract with them, cannot post to YouTube, and I guess after a while they said, no, you also got to delete your old content. Hey Paul, yeah, I meant to message you. My bad. Paul, what do you think of the new Weird Boy that got revealed today? I know we were literally just talking about this like last stream, saying, dang, they need to really reveal like some juicy models, because the models they have shown off were not exciting us for the new edition. It was more the rules. But yeah, now that we finally get to see what it looks, what the new Weird Boy's all about, it's got my hype a little bit back up. Where's those? Hold on. I need to look up the building tutorial for, or not tutorial, but building instructions for this. This is what happens when you have a model you've owned for years and don't remember how to build it. Oh god, these are black and white. Did they ever make a color tutorial of this? I doubt it. Oh, yeah, those don't show me anything. Okay, cool. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. It's not necessarily for me, but then again, I'm not an Orcs player, so yay. Congrats for you guys. I'm glad that y'all get something cool looking. Don't spin on me. All right, cool. I think I have, well, outside of the missile rack, I think I need to do another coat, at least one more coat of the green on this, but all the green metallic has been base coated. I do want to put a shade on it, and that shade is going to be just Drakenhof Nightshade. Just because I have done that on a couple of my old Alpha Legion models, and it does seem to make them look better. All right, so that one's down. And just gotta go over that freaking bone. There we go. And there we go. All right, those are officially glued on. Paul, you remember when you got me this model, right? It was the Christmas of 2019. And now here we are, April of 2026, and it's finally got the shin plates on. I'm determined. I'm going to get it done. At least one weapons option, build option, finished before this week, before Saturday. Even if it takes me through Friday. I will finish. Yes, because I didn't even have clippers. Remember? I was literally cutting pieces of these models off of the sprue with my hobby knife. And that is how, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is a line. I can get it to, oh yeah, if I squeeze my pinky, there's a line going horizontally across my pinky. Yeah, that's where I cut my pinky wide open and almost passed out. Because I was an idiot and I was cutting parts off the sprue with the freaking hobby knife. Fun memories. Alright. Yeah, I honestly probably should have went to the hospital and got stitches for that. I probably should have, because that was bad. But here we are. Anyways, alright, what's next? Let's see, I do need to put a little bit of green, or a lot of green right there. How did I not see that earlier? Yeah, when I first cut myself, I didn't realize how bad it was. I just knew, I was like, okay, I don't want to bleed everywhere. Let me go to the bathroom and get some, toilet paper and start just soaking some of it up before it goes everywhere. And then I saw just how big of a cut I made on myself and was like, oh, that's not good. And then I started going lightheaded. See, my problem is though I'm a corn guy, so I just made a little offering to him. That's all it was. It was a unplanned offering. And just so happens it just so happens I was working on this model, a nice chaos model. Where is it? There it is. I find it funny though, if you go onto Games Workshop's website, the Warhammer website, and look up the Helbrute, they actually do have a Helbrute painted on their on the Helbrute page. It's just their old color scheme. Which is, oh gosh, I don't even know how they paint that. It's literally Macragge blue with, I don't even know what the heck they washed it with. I can't see the wash color. I'm gonna get, from what I remember though, it's purple. And then they highlight it with green. It is one of the worst color schemes I've ever seen. The old classic Alpha Legion color scheme. If people like it, they like it, sure, but I don't. What next? They really have no 360 spin of this model. That's lame. I started following Nurgle later after a certain plague started infecting the whole Earth. That was a very ironic time for me to pick up Death Guard. Anyways. I think I need to start painting some more of this trim. Yeah, I want to get this model done before Saturday, because Saturday morning I'm going to go pick up the new Defiler kit. And I would like to have a nice long stream with me building the Defiler. I think that'd be fun. If anyone has any questions they want answered about the Defiler while I'm building it, ask away and I can look on the instructions or look at the parts. I need to look at how I'm going to magnetize the thing, but I will do that. I'll be doing that in real time as I'm building it. And also I'll be doing it in sub-assemblies, just because I feel like it'll be easier to paint parts of it if I don't have the whole thing in one go. The charger to my light is actually being kind of annoying. I'm gonna unplug it and just let it run off its battery for a little bit. And Paul, in their little reveal thing today, article today for the Weird Boy, they didn't mention that this week they're going to put an article up about how the melee phase is going to change, and it's making me a little nervous. As a melee enjoyer, is making me nervous because I don't want them to change it too much from how it is right now. We'll probably get a more clarification of what they mean by fights first means fights first, or whatever the heck they were saying on their stream. I know Bricky put up a good video over the weekend, kind of breaking down, for the most part, the rules that he remembers and what he's seen, and putting his own interpretation down. So if you did want to hear from a more professional player standpoint, I would recommend his video. At least by professional, I mean in a somewhat competitive space. He goes and plays tournaments, but he's not like the super hyper, I've got to make a meta list and try to play against other meta players. He's like, I've found something really cool and really fun, and I'm going to build a good list that lets me do that thing. I will say, I kind of hope that they do give us maybe a resculpt of the Helbrute, but my only request is it's just a slightly, maybe upscaled, and yeah, that's true. Auspex will go into detail about it as well. So far, I've been liking the rules about how, the rules that they have talked about so far. I've liked. The one thing that does kind of scare me, though, is the limit to primary and secondary to 15. You can only score a maximum of 15 primary victory points and a maximum of 15 secondary victory points per turn. So if you just did not do good the entire game, but in turns 4 and 5, you somehow just spiked, well, too bad. You you're locked at 15 on each of those turns. Because in the new edition, if you got some bad first turn secondaries, you don't swap them out for new secondaries. You hold on to them, and in the next turn, you just gain another 2 secondaries. So you'll now have 4 secondaries that you can score. So while that's cool, it does make it where now you have to decide which secondaries. Are you going to ignore this turn, or are you going to try to get multiple of them and trying to max out your score? It does get where now you're going to have to put a lot more thought into what you're going to do and what you're going to ignore for the time being and hope you might be able to score it later. A lot of people are hoping that they bring the psychic phase back. Yes, a decimator would be awesome. No, if you've taken a look at the, there's an article about the terrain and the deployment zones. They're making it very hard to be alpha striked. There's parts of terrain that are going to be very hard, that are going to be in the center of the board, that are going to be very hard to work around in turn 1. And if you do work around them, it's going to be not that many models are going to be seen. The title delivered exactly. Yep, exactly. That's what I. That's why I titled it "Painting my Helbrute," because that's what I'm doing. I don't. There is no clickbait on this channel. You love it? Thank you very much. I think he's looking cool. He's very. When I first started painting the green color years ago, I was very skeptical, but now that I've gotten more on him, I think he's come together real nice. I don't recommend this color to anybody unless you just like torturing yourself a little bit, but overall, it's not too bad. That is true. Yeah, you are right. Because this is the next edition is going to operate. Damn, there's another hair there. Telling you about my Alpha Legion army. It is definitely, possibly, might be actual Chaos Space Marines and not Loyalists. This is my older paint scheme, but because I'm so far into it already, I don't want to strip them and restart. So the models I've already started with this metallic green color, I'm just riding along with until those models are done, and then I'm never painting with this color again, because it's getting the job done, but it's a hobby paint. I'm so bummed that with the Yard rules, they've confirmed that the leader rule is back. So there are character and unit combo restrictions. Is it the while this model's leading a unit restriction? Or because I thought the characters leading units was very well received for the most part. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. So, yeah, they're restricted to who they can lead, but aura abilities still have their own thing. Yeah, I do like the ability to lead units, but I do think that sometimes they're a bit restrictive and sometimes they just make absolutely no sense. Like, for instance, normally only Terminators, like leaders, can lead other, like the Terminator units, but then you have Huron Blackheart, who can lead, who's not in Terminator armor, but he can lead Terminators. It makes no sense. Not that I'm, I'm not complaining that he isn't, because it's actually not as restrictive, but yeah, it's in 9th, it was basically like, as long as you were behind a unit, you were protected. um, which I did like, but at the same time, I also liked my heroic looking character to be in the front, because it looks cooler. And also that makes it where it's easier for them to actually get stuck in and do what they need to do if you're like charging. Um, but at the same time, yeah, some of the leader stuff makes no sense. At least now they're making where if they are leading a unit and the unit dies, they keep the ability still. At least there's that going on. But some units or some characters, it makes no sense. Sometimes it's like, oh, while this character's leading a unit, that unit gains a 5-up feel no pain. Well, the character model already had that 5-up feel no pain on their stat sheet in general. So it's like, great, their ability doesn't do anything for them. I'm just gonna paint these. I was gonna paint these teeth as actual teeth. I've changed my mind. I'm gonna paint them as the. Thanks for the sub, and you gotta bounce. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, I'll catch you again in another one of my streams. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it very much. Crap. I just noticed I actually somehow splotched a little bit of my paint that I'm working on right now in over there. So I'm going to have to correct that here in a minute. Gosh, this demon head thing is kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest. Yeah, Paul, I'm excited for the first game of 11th. I want to see how different it is. Even though it's been a bit since I've played a 10th edition game. I know you're still not entirely sure what you want to play in your first game. But at least for me with my Chaos Space Marines, I can tailor my list, not to your detriment, but I can tailor my list to make sure that it is a balanced list against you. That way I'm not skewing into anything ridiculous. I'm not saying, hey, your crisis suits, if you're playing your Tau, your crisis suits are toughness this. I'm going to make sure I have this toughness to guarantee that I'm doing better damage or something like that. I can be like, hey, I don't know what your crisis suit's toughness are. If they're toughness 5, I could be like, cool, I'll bring heavy bolters because my heavy bolters are also strength 5. So that way I'm wounding on 4s, which is statistically average. So hopefully there won't be a feels bad. I just want us to have a good game. I know our game of my World Eaters versus your Tyranids, I grossly under-expected or underestimated what my army could do. It was a new army for me entirely. I think that was my third or fourth game with my World Eaters, and so a lot of the units were new, and some of them were not as full strength as I had them in our game. And to be fair, some of the rolls were just bullshit as well. Yeah, that's because like I said, I greatly underestimated how strong Index World Eaters were. They're now not as strong. They definitely don't clap back nearly as hard. If you charge me in Berserker Warband, or actually in reality in any of the detachments, I hit like a wet noodle because now I'm back down to strength 4. I'm not strength 5 base. But if I charge you, I'm +2 strength, +1 attack. So I'm actually the goal is still the same. You want to charge me, but at least now my strength is even weaker. Though I do move 2 inches faster. But yeah, I understand. Like I said, I vastly underestimated how strong, especially the 8 bound. Like I said, I just want us to have a good game. I can do what I can call reverse list tailoring. I can tailor my list to make sure that I can be statistically average against your Tau. That way I don't have it super high strength advantages. I don't have, I'm not like, oh, your crisis suits are toughness. What are they? Toughness 6, I think. If they're toughness 6, then it's like, oh, I can just bring auto cannons and I can always be wounding them on 3s. Because their strength, like 7 through 9. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that's what it. That's what it is. The salamanders would be a solid choice. Even if you just play the generic detachments and not the salamander tailored detachments. Excuse me, goodness. I think you would be fine. There is a cheeky. I'm not going to do it, but there is a way to make a single unit of Chaos Space Marines have a objective control of 42. Like I said, I'm not going to do it. I know how to do it, and I'm not going to do it. It is bullshit. It's funny, but it's bullshit. It is definitely you're playing in a tournament and you want to hold the center objective and just not move from there. I have the models for it too, but like I said, I'm not doing it. Touch up the feet a little bit. Oh, Paul, I don't know if you were in here when I was mentioning earlier. I did get a defiler secured. I am guaranteed to get a defiler on Saturday. I went into Savannah Lion Games Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. I went to get Nuln Oil. I want to see how the new formula works because I'm not happy with Pro Acryl's Blackwash. Is a root army, by the way. The OP list for Tau is a root army. Oh, but a root army as in you move up to the center of the field and then you just plant yourself there and just don't move? Is that what you mean by root? Like you're rooted down? That sounds about right. Oh, Kroot army. Ah. Yeah, I think I know. I think I heard a podcast with the guy who played that list, and he was like, I'm playing it because no one else plays it. Most people don't even know how to... Yeah, autocorrect's been trying to screw me over a lot recently as well. He's saying that most people don't know how to play them, or even know what their rules are. So it's kind of fun to bring them to the table and no one knows what the heck you're doing except you. Because people just take a little glance at the Crute stuff and they're like, that's alright, this is alright, this is meh, whatever, this. And then he's just like, no, I'm going to tech into that because you think it's bad. Alright, let me fix the chest armor because I somehow made an oopsie and put some of my iron breaker there. Might need another coat. And while I'm waiting on that, let's get the missile launcher and get another coat on it. I would like to have the green done tonight, all of it. Maybe even shaded. I might actually move on to shading it. Because the trim... Exactly, I think that's why he did it, because at first glance you see you're playing against Tau and you're like, oh, I'm expecting this, and you look at the list and you see freaking Crute carnivores and you're like, wait, what? And then you're starting to like look into his list and you're trying to see what he might see in it and you just can't figure it out. But yet once he starts playing it, now you're in trouble. If it's the same player that I'm thinking of, the one that I'm talking about that did the Crute list that I'm talking about, he also played Tyranids. He played the burrowing list, or the burrowing detachment, and made it so freaking oppressive to play against. It was bad. I think he said he won a tournament or won second place with that list, because it was just like no one knows how to beat like big freaking models that are just going through tunnels all the freaking time. Also, I do like how one of the new rules that they're making is instead of +1 armor, if you're in a terrain feature, you're -1 to hit. I like that. Because while the +1 armor save was interesting, yeah, that's what it was. It was like he was like, it's nothing outstanding, which is why it throws people off. No one's expecting a mediocre list to be in a tournament. And I think it's what throws them off. It's like, hey, why is this guy bringing just Crute? And then he's got some clever things up his sleeve that no one expects you to do. I think that's why it works so well. Goodness, there's hair all over this model. It's driving me nuts. All right. Probably as good as that's going to get. I'll just leave it there. Sitting on the... All right, let's bring out the Dragonhawk Nightshade. Let's work on getting some of this shaded. I'm going to probably do 2 batches. I'm going to do 1 regular Dragonhawk and then 1 thinned down to do some of the other stuff. I don't know. I might just leave it full strength. And all I'm doing is just dropping it into the recesses. Yeah, see, that's what I've been doing. I've been listening to some of these videos while I'm at work. I'm just glad they freaking showed off the Weird Boy. I was hoping that they would today, or show off at least another good, an actual good model. There we go. Not really much I can shade on the feet, but I'll try to do something just so it's at least got a little bit of depth to them. Yeah, I think they honestly, I think they were thinking about that, but because the multi-part one already got leaked early, they were like, we can't show off another one. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, and honestly, the multi-part one probably is the better looking one. If I had to guess. So they were like, we can't show it off. Whoever leaked it ruined that for them, and honestly, don't really care. I just want to know what the heck they're going to show off next week for Space Marines. It better be something good. It might, honestly, they might be ballsy enough and actually show the Jump Pack Chaplain. Because the Weird Boy was the big bad character. Right. I know, should have shredded it or something. Well, it's a mix of blame, I would think. Mark 10 body, Mark 7 head, but on an aggressor. You think it'll be the Chaplain? I do. I think it'll be the Chaplain because they already, the big bad character in the trailer was the Weird Boy. So I think they will show off the Chaplain now. I do think the mix in armor marks is cool. I do like that idea. I want to see what there's the rumor going around about the oh, excuse me, sorry. There was a rumor going around about the Eradicators with the head, with the bolter, bolt gun, bolter, whatever you want to call it, setup. And I would like to see what that's all about. So they might not show the character for Space Marines yet. They might show something like that. Or they might show off, there's the rumor of the Ancient, a new Ancient model. But honestly, that's such a lame cop-out model to show. I'm aware. I'm aware I'm drifting. My bad. My bad, guys. Actually, I'm wondering if... I'm starting to wonder if my actual screen capture of my camera is not centered on Streamlabs. Command and Conquer. Sounds familiar? Don't... Right off the top of my head right now, don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the music? This is... The song is called Self-Destruct. It is from an artist named White Bat Audio. I have him linked below in my description, so if you did want to check out his channel for his music library, he makes it free to use for content creators as long as you credit him. So he might have took the song and it might be inspired by a by Command and Conquer. Yeah, I use this this artist for all of my music, at least for right now, because he's got a good mix. Yeah, I was thinking about getting like Epidemic Sounds and like using their music library, but yeah, I'm currently not making money on YouTube. I don't want to buy into a subscription service. Yeah, I like this guy's music. I keep looking at my camera screen and seeing it looks too dark. Oh, that's going the wrong direction. So I don't know if it maybe auto is adjusting lower or what's it doing, so I have to keep bumping it up. Like I said, hopefully I can get this pin wash like done before I end tonight's stream, because I feel like that would put me in a really good place. Honestly, I think the recess shading here is actually going faster than on those Terminators. Feels like it, at least. Don't know how true that is, though, but do need more shade. Enjoy. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep bumping it myself off camera. The habit I thought I finally got out of. There we go. Legs are done. Now onto the hip plates. Wait, why is Streamlabs not updating the subs? I don't know. It says the last sub was from 2 years ago. That is not right. I literally had a couple guys saying they subscribed. This stream, I'm sorry guys, if I don't know why Streamlabs is not telling me. Alright, to make this a bit easier, I'm going to I know on Twitch it was like instant. It would update and tell me that people were subscribed. So, I don't know. Alright, there we go. You're back. Welcome back. I think I got most of the green metallic finished on the model. So now I'm just moving to just recess shading, like panel lining where the armor meets the trim. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't know. I'm just not going to worry about it for now. Might have to contact Streamlabs, like tech support. But I'm just not going to worry about it right now. So Bones, the problem I'm having, and what we were just talking about, is Streamlabs, when I'm live like where I am right now, will not tell me if someone has subscribed. It says on my little feed on the bottom of my stream that someone 2 years ago has subscribed to my channel. Not 30 minutes ago when someone said they were subscribed. Yeah, I don't know why. It's yeah. So the only way how I can know if someone is actually subscribed, so I can thank them for subscribing, is if they announce it in stream, or if I can see their profile. Um, like for you, like on my channel, I can see who's my public subscribers, and so like you show up, but some of the people who have subscribed since then don't show up. So I don't know. It's really weird. I'm gonna have to contact. Yeah, no, I can see. I can see that you subscribed. So no, yeah, you're good. It's Streamlabs' problem. I'm gonna have to contact their customer support, I guess, and say, hey, what gives? Why can't I see when someone subscribes? You know, in real time. I have to have them tell me that they subscribe to me, which is really annoying because they shouldn't have to. Yeah, we have, but the thing is, my channel is linked, so I don't know. I'm confused, but no, you're good. You're good. You're good, Bones. Or Bricks? Is it Bricks or Bones? What? If I was to just shorten your name, what would you want me to call you? Yeah, it's like all I have for Streamlabs, I have my YouTube account linked, and that's as far as I'm aware. Let's call you Bricks. Okay. As far as I'm aware, all I needed to do was just link my my channel to Streamlabs, which is how I'm able to stream. But apparently, that's not everything I need because it's not updating. I don't know. But that is another thing I need to do. My schedule for tomorrow is very up in the air. And the reason why is because I have been for just about a week now out without hot water. But they're supposed to come fix it tomorrow. If they fix it tomorrow, me and I can imagine my roommates are all going to want to have nice showers. If they come in tomorrow and actually fix it like they say they are, I'm not sure if I will have time to stream tomorrow because I might be waiting. Yeah, it's really annoying, and I've also had a sty show up under my eye, and one of the treatments for that is just hot water. Yeah, I had to take a I just boiled some water on the stove to take a bath, and that didn't really work out. Yeah, see, that's what I want to do, Paul. I just need, I need to get the thing fixed first. Yeah, so yeah, you and I are on the same wavelength on that. But yeah, the hot water issue, it started out as the breaker kept tripping. And so we contacted maintenance and said, hey, the breaker's tripping, and we don't want to start an electrical fire because something weird's happening because we keep resetting it. So can y'all come fix it? They came over Thursday? I think it was Thursday, and said they fixed it. Well, then they didn't actually fix it, and something else happened, so then they had to come back and fix it again. And then I ran the water just to test it, and at first a lot of air came out, which I was like, okay, well, they mess with our stuff, there's gonna be air in the line, so that's fine. Just let the water run and let the air out, which is fine. And whenever it did finally get to where water was coming out, it was literally steaming hot, which was fine. We were like, perfect. That's, you know, a lot of hot air plus a lot of hot water is going to equal steam. That's just how it, you know, happens. I think that evening, so that was either Thursday or Friday. And once we got it running, one of my roommates did actually get a shower. But now the next day want to go get a shower, and I start running the water, and I'm running it, and it's not getting warm. So at one point did have some hot water, but then now it's completely stopped again. They're supposed to come today, and they did not. So now they're supposed to be coming tomorrow. I don't know. It's getting... Yeah, our heating, we're not on gas. We're all on electric. So yeah, our heater works just fine. It's just the water heater isn't working. Yeah, I don't know what they did between swapping. I don't know if they swapped a breaker. I should have took pictures of all this stuff. Oop. Goodness. At least that wasn't the Draconov Nightshade. That would have been... Yeah, so my... I wish I took a picture of the breaker, because I don't know if they actually swapped the breaker out or not. And actually, I wish I can open that freaking panel. I could tell immediately once I open that panel if they actually even tightened the wires on the breaker or not. Because if they did not tighten the wires, that might mean there's no connection. And no connection equals no power, and no power equals no water heater. I wonder if we have... I don't know if we have any tools in here or not. Yeah, I would have liked to see if they actually put a bigger breaker in. If maybe that was their solution to our breaker tripping, is just, just put a bigger breaker. Yeah, you see, guys, Paulos is a 10-year plus plumber. He literally does this stuff for a living, and if he doesn't know, or at least he's saying it could be a number of things, so. It's just annoying. Like I said, I boiled water on the stovetop for a bath, and it didn't really work out. We just don't have pots big enough to actually boil enough water to make it worth it. And by the time I was getting... Yeah, he got his first plumbing job at 20, almost 21. And now here we are... Oh, we're twins, by the way. We're 32, and he's still doing the plumbing business. So, yeah. Yep, so whenever, if there's any plumbing question, I ask him because he would know. If he doesn't know, then I'm like, oh, now we're actually in trouble. I'm actually going to skip this song. This one gets on my nerves. It sounds cool, but then the tempo starts kicking up really fast and it gets really annoying to me. So, my bad. Something in my brain, it just does not like it when the tempo speeds up like it does in that song. I don't know why I keep going after this, going into this pot. I actually have a puddle of this on my palette. Yeah, you see, the thing is, they should have changed that out when they changed our heating elements, because they claim that they claim to have changed out both heating elements. This is our water heater thing has been an ongoing problem for a while now. It's just always like one thing after another, which is why I find it hilarious that the one that's at your house is as old as we are without any maintenance and is still kicking, you know? I mean, it's not the perfect water heater. One of the bottom element is out, but other than that, it's still working. I guess all we can say is they don't make them like they used to, right? I'm sorry, the longer this stream has gone, the further back I'm sliding into my chair, and the more I'm pulling the model this way. I'm sorry. See, that's the thing, it's like, I am wondering if the thermostat was just reset, and it was reset way too freaking low. Or, like you're saying, it might have gone out, and so it's providing just a little bit of power. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to adjust the camera further downward, so I can hopefully stop. Tighten it there, and just there. That way, if I'm drawing closer this way, it wouldn't be that bad. All right, there we go. I think that's better. Hope it's better. But because we've actually had so many problems with it and it's still not being resolved, they're actually supposed to be bringing out the guy tomorrow and bringing a supervisor with him. So hopefully tomorrow's the last we hear about this freaking problem. Also, Paul, you missed it earlier, yeah. See, the breaker's been flipping for a while. I told you about it a little while back that it was tripping, but then we went through a really, really long time without it tripping. So I don't know. It very could well be that that's what's causing the problem. And instead of them actually looking at it, they just replaced the breaker. But now replacing the breaker, the breaker's now no longer doing what it was designed to do because they put a bigger one in. And it caused the thermostat to fully go out. I don't know. But it also very well could also be that they just did not wire up the breaker. Either the breaker's not getting any supply, or the breaker is not sending power out to the water heater. That is also a very good possibility. Believe me, I did that when I worked on control panels. It wasn't often, And it definitely makes you feel like you're an idiot because you're like, how can I forget that? But it's not unheard of to forget to screw the wire into the terminal. Or screw a wire into the terminal that still has insulation on it. I don't know. They're supposed to be sending someone tomorrow, so hopefully they do, and hopefully we can all enjoy some nice showers. I know one of my roommates mentioned today that what they did is they got a 1-day free trial to Planet Fitness just so they can take a shower. I'm like, that's an option. Sounds a lot better than the lukewarm bath that I took. A quick disconnect for the heater. I don't know. I don't see why they would have one because the breaker panel is literally on one side of the hallway and the water heater's on the other side of the hallway. They're so close together. I can imagine that if they were further away from each other. And to make matters worse, Paul, is I have a sty, and one of the best treatments for a sty is a hot washcloth, hot wet washcloth, and use it as a compress on your eye. And I can't do it because I would have to boil water first, and I'm not going to waste power boiling water. Also, Paul, what was I trying to say? Oh, because you weren't in earlier, I think you did miss it. I potentially have my first commission paint project happening in the very near future. Oh, what is that? Oh, that came off. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so Friday, when I had to go into work Friday, I ended up not going in at 6. I went in at 7, like my normal time, but on a Friday, which is still the day I'm not supposed to work, but oh well. And one of my coworkers, they don't know much about Warhammer, but they do like how my models look. I usually show them pictures of my models. But this time I was like, I'll bring the models in person. I'll show them in person. Showed them to them. And one of the ladies there looked at them and she was like, oh man, that's cool and everything. And then she asked me, she's like, do you do commission stuff? I was like, I haven't, but I'm thinking about doing some. And she's like, okay, because my son's birthday is in July, and I'd like to see if you would be able to maybe paint some models for him for his birthday. And I was like, oh, I told her I'll think about it, and I told her today, I was like, I can do it, but we need to talk about how much money she's thinking about putting into it, and what is she like looking for. If she wants me to do Space Marines, that's honestly probably the easiest that I can get done in a somewhat timely manner. I asked her, you know, like, let me know if she knows anything about July. We're in April, so May, June, July. I got 3 months, and it's not going to be a big thing because I don't think she has a lot of money, so she's not going to be able to fund like huge thing. But if she wants an infantry squad or whatever. Got any tips? Okay, so there's a plethora of different ways to paint Alpha Legion. This was my first paint scheme that I did. I started this paint scheme back in 2019 when I first started Warhammer. I don't really recommend it because the paint is a bit of a pain in the butt to do, but it's this paint right here. It's called Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. If you like the green color, that's what this is. They also make a bluer color that's turquoise. I got mine off Amazon. I think you can also find it in just about any hobby shop like a Michael's. But yeah, this is my older scheme. I'm actually retiring this once the models that I've already started, once I get them finished. I'm retiring this paint scheme because I don't like messing with this paint anymore. But that is an option. My second option that I would give to you is to paint your models in a the green is best. Yeah, I do think that the greener color looks better. I don't like them going too blue because then people mistake them for like Night Lords or evil Ultramarines. I've even heard someone say that before, and I'm like, that's not what it is. This is my second paint scheme that I've done. I've got some cat hair on it, but that's all right. I used a brighter silvery color, so this one is Ironbreaker to be more specific. Oh, it's 3 a.m.? Yeah, go on to bed, man. Catch you next stream, hopefully. Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next stream. But yeah, I coated the entire model in Ironbreaker. Some of it's not, some of it's a darker color, but that's alright because I wasn't wanting that to be the armor anyways. And then you coat the color that this is Pterodon Turquoise. So what that does is, because the Pterodon Turquoise is a bit like a translucent color, that metallic shine still shows through. And so now you have a metallic-y turquoise color. They have another color. Where is it? I have it somewhere. Huh. It's done disappeared on me. It's Achillean green is the other color. I would, if you like it on a bluer scale, I would choose Achillean green. If you want it on the more like the turquoisey color, I would choose Pterodon Turquoise. And then after this started, I actually got myself an airbrush. And so my third iteration and my favorite iteration is, where'd he go? There he is this one. It's basically, it's the same color as this, basically. But the difference is that this was all done, the base color was done in the airbrush. I coated the model with the Ironbreaker, and then through the airbrush sprayed the Pterodon Turquoise. And that way it actually mattes it down a little bit. Or not really matte, I guess, but it dullens out the color a little bit so it's not really shiny. But you also can achieve that same effect with this if you had a matte varnish. Like even a brush-on varnish would work. There also is a... I have the model somewhere. Hold on, just give me one moment and I'll give you my final paint scheme attempt that I did that I also actually really like. I'm going to zoom this in so I can show you. Oh, that's my focus and not my zoom. My bad, guys. This is my final attempt. This is a non-metallic, so if you don't want to do the metal, shiny metal color for the green color, but you still want to achieve a pretty close to this color, you don't want it to be metal. This was... Where's the paint? Started with Incubi Darkness. And then you glaze on... Is it Cable Light Green? Yeah, Cable Light Green. You honestly could probably dry brush this on, or even start with this as the base, and then shade it with Incubi Darkness, or glaze it into the darker areas. And I think that was pretty much it. I think the deepest recesses I just shaded with Nuln Oil. But overall, it is just these two colors. The Cable Light, Incubi Darkness, Cable Light Green. And then the trim for this one is Lead Belcher. I just wanted a darker color. As for the rest of mine, has been Iron Breaker as the trim. I actually have the tutorial for this paint scheme on my channel already. How to paint Alpha Legion Terminator. So if you did want to check that out for my full tutorial on this model or this unit, you can. It honestly doesn't have a lot of views, so if you did want to check that out, I would appreciate that, but you don't have to. I can't force you. Yeah, the best Terminator. I nicknamed him Sam Fister. Because Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series, so all about covert and spy and sneaking around, and I was like, oh, Alpha Legion's perfect. And then he's dual-wielding his power fists, so he's fisting. Definitely not an innuendo for anything else. That's not how I intended it, but it does sound like that, so whatever. Alright. Zoom out. The camera, ironically, I have the camera upside down. That's how it's working. Yeah, the innuendo there, or the phrase there was definitely not the purple waist tape. Yeah, I thought the purple would be a really good complementary color, and it definitely was. And then the pink, or yeah, the dark pink color for like the little tassel thing, that works really well. Yep, that's my non-metallic version of the green. This is my metallic version of the green. Simplified, of the same color. And then, of course, my first iteration is the green metallic paint, which they also make a turquoise metallic. And I think where I got this paint idea from, I'm going to zoom that out just a little bit more, get the focus in again. Am I doing primarily Chaos Space Marine? Yes, but I have done a kit bash before the Warp Smith came out. So this was the near the beginning of last edition. My brother, the same brother who got me this for Christmas, he got me the Primaris Tech Marine, and I have done a soft conversion. It's not that much work. Don't have the model on hand, unfortunately. Well, to me, color theory is very simple. You just take your primary color and look at what looks good with it. And ironically, it tends to be, you know, the green and purple look really good together, and ironically, those are my mom's favorite colors, or our mom's favorite colors. Honestly, Paul, I'm pretty sure that if we did take like art classes, the teachers would either love us or hate us. but that's all right. Um, yeah, most of my models is or for Chaos Space Marines is actual Chaos Space Marine models. But to continue with my story, my Paulos here, he's my brother. He gifted me this in 2019, and then I'm pretty sure it was Christmas of 2020. The Primaris Tech Marine came out, and I told him that I wanted to use it as a conversion for the Warpsmith because I liked how it looked. It looked really cool, and I was like, I have a good idea for it. So he got it for me for Christmas that year. I built it for the most part, swapped the head out for one of the Havoc, the heads for one of the Havoc kits. It's the one that has the snake-looking mouth. Swapped the pistol out for a combi melta because at the time that was a legal weapon. And then the bolter on the top of the backpack, I chopped the barrel off, chopped the magazine off, and swapped it for a flamer barrel and a melta barrel. And so yeah, it was like a dual barrel flamer melta, and he had a combi melta in his hand. And I was like, oh, this model looks so freaking sick. And so then I painted it as a Tech Marine. Well, he's mostly finished as a Tech Marine, but his helmet is the Alpha Legion, this color, and one of the knee pads is this color as well. Because I wanted it to be like, oh, he snuck into Loyalist encampments. And then, ironically, that edition, well, it wasn't. Was it a year later? About a year later. Yeah, technically they did. But or maybe 2 years later. I can't remember. It did actually no, it wasn't the following year. It was like 2 to 3 years later because that's whenever. Gosh. Why I remember these things, I don't know, but that was the edition where they swapped Space Marines from 1 to 2 wounds. And regular Chaos Space Marines were waiting forever to get our second wound. We were waiting forever to get our second wound. So it was like near the end of the edition. I'm talking like we might have had 8 months left in the edition, and they finally gave Chaos Space Marines our second wound. And that's when they released the Warpsmith. And then they made it where the only firearm he could take is a plasma pistol, but whatever. Anyways, let's try to get. Oh my gosh, it's 10:20. Shoot. All right. He's almost done, or at least the armor panels for the main body are almost done. I want to get them done before I get off tonight because I don't have a lot of time. And I just messed up, but it's a good thing I didn't put it on the model yet. You want to know what I just did? This isn't Dragonoff Nightshade. This isn't Dragonoff Nightshade. That's Pterodon Turquoise. Let's put that back on the shelf. Alright, I'm going to rotate my wet palette so I don't accidentally grab that. You gotta skedaddle? Alright, that's fine, because I'm almost done with stream. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Disaster avoided. Yeah, that would have been bad. It would have been in the recess, so it wouldn't have been too terrible, but yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Grix. You're heading out too, Paul? Okay. Like I said, we're not too far from being done with what I wanted to do tonight. So I'm going to just kind of speed this along, and then we'll call it a night. Also, another tip I would give about painting Alpha Legion. Where's my Terminator? I would pick colors that aren't gold, because gold, in my opinion, like on my older models where it's brighter, the gold was fine because it was like, hey, everything's really bright, everything's shiny, so it kind of worked. But on this color scheme, gold would stick out like a sore thumb. So what I did is I took the specific color is Castellix Bronze. Let me see if I can pull it out. There it is. I picked Castellix Bronze. Even though it's a layer paint, it has really, really good coverage. And I put it on the little pipes there. I put it on the little spike here. And on my other models, it's on all kinds of other spots on the model. But it's a alternative color if you don't want to use gold. And I would recommend that for other colors as well. If you wanted to use like Rune Lord Brass, if you wanted a more muted brassy color, if you wanted, oh gosh, I wouldn't recommend a pure copper. Yeah, bronze is a really, really good color as a like secondary metal color. If you don't, so you already got a lot of silver going on the model with the trim and any like natural metal color like the vents on the back and stuff like that. So yeah, you want a secondary metal color. I wouldn't, gold in my opinion would just be too flashy. So a bronze would be a nice darker, more muted color. Yep, that's another tip from that I can think off the top of my head for them. I would suggest avoiding red. And like what Brix was mentioning, that he liked the purple. That's actually why I went with purple and not red, because do I have the model where I can quickly grab it? No, I can't find it. I did do a test model that had red with this this turquoise color. Maybe it's more closer to this one because it was painted on, and it shifts your vision to see that turquoise more like a blue. So if you like your Alpha Legion to be more blue color, go right ahead. You go with red. But if you wanted to keep that slight green tinge to it, the actual like true turquoise, I would avoid red if possible. For a random wire coming off the armor or something like that, that's one thing. But like if they have a hair plume, or if they have the little piece of cloth hanging in front of them or something like that, like this, I would avoid red. That's just how my eyeballs basically see that color, is it shifts it into that for some reason. I think these random lines that it has on the model, trying to, I don't want to coat the whole thing. Anything else left on this back shoulder? Nope. Okay, cool. Moving on to the. Did I already do the butt plate? I can't tell. I'm gonna go over it again. If I have already once, I'll go over it again. Another thing that caught me with the Alpha Legion was the fact that they were twin Primarchs, and like I was saying, Paulos and I are twins. I was like, huh, what a coincidence. We got twin Primarchs and we're twins. And then he was like, I'm not interested in doing anything Alpha Legion. I was like, no, well, I'm doing it then. When we first got into Warhammer, well, he got it. Our friend was in it first, and he was playing, like, he didn't really have a direction of where he was going. He was collecting a few models here and there of different armies, but for the most part, he was staying with, for the most part, he stayed with Loyalist, or Imperium at large. He had some AdMech. He had some Space Marines and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, cool. Didn't want to get interested in it, to be honest. When he was interested in it, and that's because I just built this PC. This was back in 2000, and this was in the beginning of 2019, or like springtime 2019. I just got finished building this PC, spent couple $1,000 building it myself, getting it to work, to play games with him. And then next thing you know, he's abandoning playing video games to paint Warhammer models. And I'm like, bro, I just spent all this money on this PC and now you're moving away from PC gaming. I was like, I'm not about to jump on the next trend because I already spent all this money just so I can spend time with you to play games on PC, because cross-platform was not that big of a thing. And then he got my brother in it, and my brother, Paulos, he started with Tyranids. He saw the... oh god, what's it called? The Trigon. This was the old Combat Patrol. Or not, it wasn't even called Combat Patrol. Start Collecting box for Tyranids. And in that box had a freaking Trigon in it. Nice huge centerpiece model for a Start Collecting of Tyranids. He was like, I have to get this model. I have to get this set and I have to get this model. So we got it. And he's painting on it off and on. He's using cheap Walmart paints or whatever. And overall, he's getting a really good effect on him despite the fact that he's using terrible paints. They ended up convincing me mid to late 2019 to just look at it and get started. I'm like, okay, fine. They're talking about the different factions that they have or whatever, and they're like, oh, because we're playing, or I actually came up with the idea. I was like, me and our friend is playing the Imperium armies. My brother at the time was collecting the Tyranids, but he was also interested in Tau and Orcs. I was like, okay, cool. My brother can keep on the Xenos side. My friend can stay on the Loyalist side, or the Imperium side. I'll just pick Chaos. So they took me to the local hobby shop. Let me look around. The Space Hulk Deathwing came out. Oh, hell yeah. I had a buddy teach me how to play 7th edition, but then the rules changed to 8th and learned all those rules for nothing. Yeah, I heard that from 7th to 8th with a hard reset, which is why I'm telling, whenever someone's like, hey, I'm just getting into this, I'm like, learn the base rules, but there's some specifics that you just don't bother learning. There's some things that are about to change. Yeah, I got in on the tail end of 8, but I kind of already was known that was what was going on. So instead of being disappointed about rule changes, I actually was able to be hype about it. But I do wish that they would bring. There's a chaos model that I wish. Yep, that's how they get you. That's how they get you, Dan. First one's free. Yeah, my friend got me convinced, and I started with, I walked in the store, and I liked Karn the Betrayer model. And I was like, oh, he's cool. And then I look around, and there's no other... Well, there was another box that was for World Eaters. It was the old Berserker kit. And while I liked the aesthetic that they were going for, I did not like the models at all. I was like, they look goofy, and then I was told, yeah, those models are just about as old as you are. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But then I saw the Corn Demons. For some reason, was like, sure, let me get the Start Collecting Corn Demons box. And so, got those, built those, and then we had our first game. We had someone from the shop was like, hey, I'll teach you guys. We will have how many people played on that one table? Myself, my brother, our friend, and his brother, and then the guy teaching us. So we had a 5-way free-for-all with each of us having 500 points. And was just basically taught how to play the rules. And it was so much fun. I have a couple of pictures from that time. That was forever ago. Well, I say forever ago. That was 2019. But that was so much fun. Because it was like, he taught us the rules. We got going really well. And it was just really stupid because, like I said, it was 5 people with 500 points each on the table. Just trying to move about and do something. But of course, I'm playing Corn Demon, so I'm all melee. The closest person to me was my friend, and he had Deathwatch with frag cannons. So yeah, I tried to avoid him and try to charge into other things, and it was fun. But yeah, that's where it all started for me, Corn Demons, and then after a couple of games of getting swamped because my friend and my brother would just outrange me. They end up getting like bigger models with guns and stuff like that. Like my brother got a Tyrannofex, and it had a big freaking cannon on it, and I'm like, my Corn Demons can't keep up with all this ranged weaponry just mowing me down. And at the time, I didn't have the skill set for how to move properly because I'm still just learning the game. So I was like, I need weapons, I need guns. And then my friend who was collecting the Space Marines was like, hey, there's a box that's coming. It either came out already, but he was getting it, but it was on Amazon, or it was coming out. I don't remember the exact details, but it was the Shadow Spear box. And it was Space Marines versus the Chaos Space Marines. And we got it, started digging through it, started building the models. There's a little booklet in there that was like, basically, hey, here's the breakdown of the different Chaos Space Marine legions. And in that was a model that was silver, trimmed, and green armor. And it was the Alpha Legion. And that's where I first fell in love with the Alpha Legion. So where this guy The buggies, yeah, I love the Dragsta. The Dragsta model is such a cool model. I've been contemplating for ever now about getting it just so I can paint it. I don't even have an orc army. I don't intend on getting an orc army because I already have too many armies as it is, but yeah, that's where this model came from. It's the Shadow Spear box set. I can look back at this model and see where I can definitely improve, but being the first model that I took beyond the regular battle ready, I'm so proud of it. I think I did a stellar job on him. There's freaking dust and cat hair all over it, but I don't care. Yeah, that's where my original green metallic paint scheme came from. And then since then, I have improved on and got the other colors, better colors. But with that little bit of a lore dump about how I started into this, I think I'm gonna call it a night, because it is almost 11:15 my time, and I have to be up and going to work in the morning. But I feel like we got a good bit of him finished today. He's looking stellar. Where's the missile rack? I actually got a World Eater's army. Oh, I just saw that. Sorry, I just got a World Eater's army as well. But I want to do Alpha Legion because I do like how their Legion operates. I think it'll be fun to paint. I enjoy painting my Alpha Legion. I also have a World Eater's army now that when the range refresh did happen, I jumped on it. There we go. Because, like I said, I got the first day I collected Warhammer models. I got the Khorne Demon Battle Start Collecting box. Not even a Combat Patrol, it's a Start Collecting box. It was like $100 or $90. My brother bought me some Flesh Hounds, so I'll have another unit to attack or to play with as well. And then I bought Karn the Betrayer because I just love the model. I was like, he looks stellar. I like the way he looks. And then I started listening to a couple of different YouTubers who were doing Warhammer stuff, and one of them was Valrak, and Valrak at the time, this was in 2019 by the way, rumored that we were getting Angron. And that sold it for me that I just need to wait. I was like, I'm waiting until the refresh to do World Eater's army. And then he got leaked. I don't even remember what year that was, 2022. He got leaked, and that was it for me. Yeah, my World Eater's army is my most painted army. I think I have, out of the, almost 4,000 points of World Eaters I have. I don't even know how many points I have. I haven't counted it. I have 1,500-ish points fully painted. And that's my most painted army. But with what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to get other armies painted up as well. I'm trying to just get everything as much painted as possible. Trying to get as many models painted this year as I can. That's why there's the model counter up there, as I'm trying to keep myself committed to painting these things. But you know, I think I'm going to end it there, guys. A really fun stream. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys and chatting. Let me see if I can I get that to sit? No, he's too hot. I was gonna see if I can sit him here, but he's not gonna do it. That kind of works. Good night. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for sticking around, tuning in. If you want to see more of this or want to catch me next time, feel free to subscribe. And with that, I will, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. We'll have to see. If I do stream tomorrow, it'll be about the same time as I started today. But we'll see. With that, I wish you all a good night.